Hello there. I'd like to shout out to Numu. It's a great place. I've seen so many good shows there. I actually thought we could go see this one, but I guess not. I'm in San Francisco at my studio, and I live in San Jose, and I'm a printmaker. I have been a master printmaker, helping professional artists make their work for, I don't know, 25 years. I teach, and I teach out of my studio. I'm going to do my second quarter at Stanford soon. And last year at this time, I was sweating bullets because I was like, how am I going to teach printmaking online? It was just was a very distressing thing, but I did it, and it was actually fine. It was good, once you let go of what you used to do. And so that's what I do all the time. And the work that's here, they're monotypes with collage. And so the method is not different than what I usually do, but somehow the spirit is a little different, being affected by what we have all been through. Last year I was in denial, and I was like, it can't last. But eventually you realize it can last, and you get used to the fact that you can't see art. Your friends are afraid of you. And, I lost exhibits and everything, like everyone, income exhibits, but it was all fine because I can still come to my studio every day and work. So, it did have a big effect on my inspiration, and I didn't expect that. I thought, wow, I'm gonna have all this time to work. And I did work, but it was just like somehow being in jello, like the idea of no shows, and then what was going on in the world with especially the George Floyd murder, and then the fires, and then the election. And it was just very dampening to my inspiration, my normal inspiration. And I also am inspired by botanicals, so that didn't go away. I work printing directly from plants, but I also like to collect fruits and plants and go to the farmer's market. And so I spend a lot of time in the summer just sitting around drawing fruit, which is a luxurious practice for me because it's very time consuming, and I just stare at the fruit for quite a long time. So that was very fun. And, this energy of the fire and George Floyd and what happened all summer, along with the pandemic and our fear of touching, our fear of, not knowing what. I mean, in the beginning, I was washing my car steering wheel every day, and the handles on my car and the door handles. So at least we've gotten past that. But anyway, the fires came. We had the orange dark day. The pieces following, you'll see my prints that I made referring to that. This piece I made referring specifically to COVID, and it's kind of obvious. We've got the skull there, and in that little circle by the skull, which you may not be able to see, there's a hand touching a piece of fruit. And that, to me, was just this huge reference to all the fear of touching objects and touching door handles that we've all experienced, and that I experienced, which I no longer am experiencing, because now we know something about what's going on, and it's not the door handles. And the weird thing about this piece is along the bottom, you see the dancing children. And, it's a transfer from a children's book that I made. And when I made this piece, I was just channeling the energy of the COVID situation, like the spots above the skull and in the corner. To me, they're like the virus specks that are invisible. And then when I saw that piece, for whatever reason, I felt it fit into the picture, the piece with the children. And it was only after I completed this piece, that several people said to me that the ring around the rosie, which this recalls that rhyme that we all know, ring around the rosie, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down, that was known to be, this is not for sure, but it's thought to be or known to be related to the plague from the Middle Ages. So I just found it very eerie and strange that I selected those children dancing and put it into this piece, and then found out after the fact that there's this whole, you know, idea of ring around the rosie referencing the plague. Other scholars of nursery rhymes do disagree, but there's enough people talking about it that I feel like that nursery rhyme, which isn't even in the print, but somehow relates to these children, contains that reference. Like I was unconsciously channeling that reference, which is kind of how my work goes. You know, it's all unconscious channeling. I'll go to the next slide now. These two pieces, all three pieces you saw are the same size, 22 by 30 sheet of paper. They're all unique prints. And they're all made in a similar way. You can see botanical imagery here. That's printed from the actual plant. The grape drawing is my drawing that has been scanned and laser printed and then reprinted, along with some collage. And I kind of got onto the grapes, partly because I love drawing fruit, but partly because I was applying for a commission for artwork for a winery in Ohio. And it was with my mom. We collaborate together. We did not get the commission, but I made several nice pieces from drawing the grapes. And then the other piece to the right with a snake in it, it's featuring morning glory leaves, marijuana leaves, and images of peyote, and I think there's some mushrooms in there, and the title psychedelia, which you can't see on here. I don't know why not. I typed it in, but you know, to me, these two pieces were made live. First of all, I was doing an Instagram live video and I didn't really have a plan. I just had these images kicking around, and you know, it's like start the video, you have 1 hour to do an Instagram live, and this is what came out. But the whole idea of psychedelia and the grapes also, I feel, is like an answer to the COVID nightmare we experience as an idea of distraction and escape through drugs or whatever. And so I just enjoy combining images and using plants in conjunction with a lot of other things. So the next two images, which we can move to, these I think actually were made before the others. And these were really the first prints I made during COVID. And it was after the orange day, after the dark days of the fire. And I just like was bursting with having to do something. So I had to make some images referencing the fire. And you can see there's plant images in here and flame images, and they're kind of abstract. So they're called Fire Days 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm sorry the titles didn't make it in. These are smaller, unique works on paper, which is basically what I do. So I'm here in San Francisco. You're all welcome to visit. I print with artists singly or in groups. I help them make monotypes right here in my beautiful studio. And, you know, come visit if you're around. And thank you.